Hello, everybody. I'm Scarlett. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're actually going to be going over my first speed draw, and I'm actually really excited to do this with you. First of all, there's a couple of things that I need to go over before I actually get started with this. So you will notice in the bottom right corner, there is the camera, which does the live view of the recording that I'm doing all of the artwork using my Wacom. Now, with that setup, currently it is set up, well, for this video in particular, it was set up in the wrong codec. We didn't find that out until after. We didn't know what was causing the color issue, but that's a thing to keep in mind. We do correct that for videos going forward though, so please don't be too harsh on that. We didn't actually know what was wrong with that. We just wanted to get this done because we were super excited to get this channel underway. So today we're actually going to be working on a art commission from somebody from my actual audience from Twitch. Her name's Anne, and she wanted me to do a Fursona art piece for her for Christmas. And you know what? I couldn't refuse. Like, I love doing artwork for Pan. She's actually such a good client. And you will see in the top right corner, you will see a counter for how many times we actually get to play with my lovely kitten, Luna. She is obviously the star of the show, so yeah, maybe that's something to keep an eye out for. And anyway, so we're gonna get going with this. So first of all, we're actually just using a modeling program just to try and get an idea of how we want the Fursona pose, which, yeah, I know it's not a Fursona model, but like I can sort of translate it from there. But we're just a lovely pose together, just something a bit more submissive, just so that we can have something as a reference image to be able to use when we actually go to do the art piece. So I'm bringing that into Critter now, and yeah, so I'm actually going to start using different colors here just to get the sketch done. I want to try and get a decent idea of how I want this to look. We're actually using a golden retriever as a reference image just off on my tablet that's off to the side. You can't really see it in here, but yeah, so I actually use different colors here to work out what exactly is doing what in the video. Not in the video, in the sketch. I use different colors so that I can work out like what's different body part, what's hair, what's eyes, all that sort of stuff. And so yeah, I'm just trying to sketch this out to get it just the way I want it to be. Just getting the body framework in. Of course, can't forget the blep. Getting this paws done, which it's kind of weird to try and get paws to... Okay, because like I want this Fursona to be holding a candy cane, like one of those giant ones, and trying to get paws that are doing stuff that they don't normally do does take it takes a lot more thinking than you would actually think. But I'm very happy with how this is coming out, and of course Mary the Ho-Ho being a One Topic reference. Just getting that eye shape done, just to really... I really wanted to have something that's a little bit more, I guess just like begging for attention. Um, but yeah, I feel like I'm really happy with how, like, the sketch is coming along. So I'm moving on to the actual line work now, just inking this out. And so I'm just gonna ink this out for a moment, and we'll play through it. Yeah, and like there isn't too much to say. I mean, I'm just trying to refine some of the details, um, making sure that everything is just the way I want it to be. And like, okay, so I'm not quite happy with the face shape here, so I'll just quickly correct that. Make other little corrections here and there, making sure everything is in proportion. And of course, I go ahead and start inking out the rest of the body now. What you'll see is that I do spend a bit of time just making sure that everything fits properly, making sure that all of the lines just line up exactly the way I want them to be, making sure that there's no lines where they shouldn't be. Just going through, making small corrections, and then I continue on, making sure that the body is exactly the way I want it to be. It's at this stage I start considering the outfit. Like I'm thinking like I want her to be in like one of those ugly Christmas sweaters that everyone hates. Yeah, so I start putting in the actual sweater itself, details for the candy cane, and yeah, I'm just going through making sure that the artwork is really nicely done. Oh, of course, the paws and just, oh, this is my favorite part, the tail floof. It really defines how the tail is going to look at the end, and I love the way it comes out. You'll see what I mean. But just making sure that everything is like really nice and done, and all of the line work's corrected, making sure there's no gaps so I can use fills, and you'll see there's a slight bit of playtime with Luna. She loves her attention. So we're going through now and doing our fills, and very shortly, just gonna quickly correct some of the coloring where the edges are. Okay, so here I start actually working on the texturing for the hat. Um, I love that Mary the Ho thing. And I had to put that in there, the one topic reference, like it had to go in. And so now I'm finding the right texture for the hat. And I finally found one that I really like. God, it's been a while since I actually did this art piece, but yeah. I start doing the texture for the hair. I'm actually using a brush that I've used before for like fur and stuff like that, and it works so well, especially for hair and fur. I can't find anything that works better just because of how well this works. And like you can see, I start getting the shading in with the texturing at the same time. So I am now going through correcting all of the edge work. Okay, so yeah, just going through, making sure all the edges are nice and cleaned up, and making sure that everything is nice and clean. I mean, like, this is probably, like, I don't know if this is an ADHD thing or whatever, but, like, I need those edges to be nice and clean. I hate it when because the fill bucket for some reason doesn't quite get it, so I have to go through and manually just, like, clean up the edges just to make sure it's all done properly. Because otherwise, like, you do get, like, especially for a PNG, if you don't do it properly, like, and you're observing the PNG through just like, yeah, if you just open it up over another thing, you will see like the gaps. But I do love how I texture the fur here. It took a little bit just to find the right colors that I wanted to work with, but I decided that going through like with a base yellow with green tips was sort of the ideal solution that I wanted to go with. Because like I did think about doing it in reverse, and I do actually try that in another project, but just for this one, I think that like having the green tips just, I don't know, it just feels more right. And like I'm just having so much fun doing the fur here. I don't know what to say. Like it's just doing that fur is just, it's so satisfying. It really is. Like that I don't know why. It's so quick just to get really good results, especially with the brush that I'm using. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm just cleaning this up a bit now, making sure that everything is just nice and clean. So now I'm just about to start working on sweater, but of course Luna decided to interrupt. Let's face it, she's the star of the show. Oh yeah, no, I'm working on the texture for the sweater now, which you can't, it's sort of really hard to see on the screen, but like, you can see where I'm working with the brush. You can see the shading coming through, shadows and all that where they should be. Just cleaning this up a bit so that it's just nice and clean. And of course, going through and doing a little bit of text just to, I don't know, just give it a little something. And I figured, unwrap me. She's a submissive. Like, it just fits. Just trying to get the shadows behind everything there with the text, just making sure it's in line with everything else. But now going through and texturing the eyes, making sure that's looking good. And I love how I managed to use the brushes here, especially on the nose. It looks so good. I did struggle here a bit with the eyes. I wanted to have sort of like a glossy look to them. It took a while to just try and find the right balance, I guess, for the texturing and how I wanted that to look. But eventually I do get there, and it just, I hit that point where it's just right. So going through texturing the collar and just getting those studs nice and shiny, working on the fur now, just for like the rest of the body. And this is sort of what it's gonna be from this point out. It's just texturing that fur, and yeah, so I think I'll just sit back and watch with you as we listen to some Lena Rain. God, go check out her channel, by the way. Like, seriously, she is a fantastic musician and I just love her work. Also, I should note at this point, my phone recording the live camera for the Wacom actually died here, unfortunately, so yeah, that's a lot of footage that we lost, and I didn't even realize until after this was done. So I do apologize for that. I actually thought that the phone was connected to the charger, but obviously it wasn't. So yeah, no, I do apologize for that, and yeah. Anyway, we'll let this play out. So just adding in a bit of a background now. Nothing too complex, but just wanted a little something just to finish it off. And there we go. There's the finished art piece. I loved this project. I spent hours on this. But I lost track of how much time I actually spent on this, but like, I'm so proud of this art piece, even still. It's just, especially the way that fur texture is done, especially on the tail, the blending of the colors, I love it. And I hope that you guys do too. If you do like what I do, I would have really appreciated if you would like and subscribe. And you can also follow me on my social media. I'm on Blue Sky, links in the description, but also if you want to see more of my artwork, go check me out on Kara. And yes, I hope that you liked what I'm doing, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!